Hello and welcome to Classy Handmade. Today I will show you how to make this pincushion turtle. It's an amigurumi turtle that I create, and I use it for my pins. You can use it for your needles, you can use it for your basically make a pincushion, or you can just make a amigurumi turtle. So I will show you how to make this. You will need a 3.5mm hook, a lighter, 12mm eyes, stitch marker, some embroidery floss, and 2 colors of yarn. So, and the 2 colors of yarn, the size of yarn for the size of my turtle, you can use, it's a number 4. You can use a larger yarn if you need a larger turtle, or a smaller yarn if you need a smaller turtle. So for the head and the legs and the belly, you will use whatever yarn you want. I'm using this beige color, and for the top shell I'm going to use this purple here. And you will need some scissors, and you need also some stuffing. So let's get started. Okay, so we'll put this here. Get my stitch book. So we're going to start making the top shell. So you're going to take your yarn that you're choosing for the top shell. I'm going to use my purple, and you're going to make a magic loop. So how I make my magic loop, I wrap my yarn around, you could wrap it around 2 or 3 fingers, and then you grab the yarn. Then you chain 1. The chain 1 is not counted as a stitch, it's just to secure. And then you're going to put 6 single crochet into your circle. So you put 6 single crochet into your circle. So I have my 6 single crochet into my magic loop. You're going to pull the end, and that's the beginning end, to close the round. Place the stitch marker into the last stitch made. For round 2, you're going to put 2 single crochet into each of your 6 stitches for a total of 12 single crochet. So you can go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back at the end. So we are at round 3. For round 3, you're going to put 1 single crochet into the first stitch, and then 2 single crochet into the next. So 1 single crochet into the first stitch, then 2 single crochet into the next stitch, for a total of 18 single crochet. So repeat that: 1 single crochet, then 2 single crochet into the next, for a total of 18 single crochet. So at the end of round 3, you should have 18 single crochet. So for round 4, you're going to do 1 single crochet into each of 2 stitches, and then into the third stitch you're going to put 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet into each of the next 2 stitches, and then 2 single crochet in the next. So you're putting 1 single crochet twice into, so you're putting 1 single crochet into 2 stitches, and then into the third single crochet you're going to put 2 single crochet, and repeat that, and you will have 24 single crochet at the end of round 4. Round 5, you're going to put 1 single crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then 2 single crochet in the next. So 1, 2, 3. Into the 4th stitch you're going to put 2 single crochet. So you repeat that all the way to the end of the round, and you're going to have 30 single crochet. Round 6. For round 6 you're going to continue to increase, but round 6 you're going to put 1 single crochet into each of the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the 5th stitch you're going to put 2 single crochet into 1 stitch. So 4 single crochet into 4 stitches, and then 2 into the 5th. So you repeat that pattern, and I'll reach you back at the end of round 6. So round 6 you should have 36 single crochet. So for round 7 you're going to put 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, and into the 6th you're going to put 2 double crochet. So repeat that pattern, 1 single crochet into 5 stitch, and then into the 6th you put 2 single crochet, for a total of 42 single crochet, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 7. So at the end of round 7 you should have 42 single crochet. So for round 8 we're going to put 1 single crochet into each of the next 6, and into the 7th you're going to put 2 single crochet. So 1 single crochet into 6 single crochet, and then 2 single crochet into the next. So repeat that for a total of 48 single crochet, and I'll meet you back at the end of row 8. So at the end of round 8 you should have 48 single crochet. So your piece will look like this. So for round 9 through 12 you're going to put 1 single crochet into each of those 48 stitches for a total of 4 rounds. So on each round you're going to have 48 single crochet. So your increase stops at round 8. So do those 4 rounds, and I'll reach you back at the end of round 12. So we are at the end of round 12, and you should have 48 stitches. So you're going to slip stitch into the next and fasten off, and you're going to cut your yarn, fold through, and take your yarn needle, and you can weave in your ends. So you go ahead and weave in your end, and I'll meet you back at the end when you finish weaving in. So we finished making the top, so we're going to make the bottom of the shell, and the bottom of the shell is the same as the top of the shell. The only thing you're going to do from round 1 to 8, and that's it. Take both pieces and you put them together. It doesn't matter You don't have to line it up in any particular way. So we're going to go through both loops. Let me zoom in so you can see. We're going to go into both loops and the back loop of the top shell. So find the back loop of one of your stitches. So you see here, I go through the back loop, both loops on the bottom, and just the back. This will be the front loop then of the top shell, and you single crochet. Both loops and the front loop and single crochet. So basically it's the first loop, this loop right here. You're going to go through that one. And you do that until you leave 9 stitches at the top and 9 stitches at the bottom. At opening, you would leave that on work, so you can put your head into the body of the turtle shell. So you continue doing that, go through both loop on the bottom part and just the front loop on the top part, and I'll meet you back when you finish. When I'm finished. So continue single crocheting your piece on and leave, remember to leave 9 stitches at the top and 9 stitches at the bottom unworked. Okay, so I finish single crocheting my bottom piece and my top piece together. So what you can do right now, what you're going to do right now, you're going to fasten off here. And you're going to leave a long tail, enough to sew the head on to the body. So you see, I would say like 12 inches. And you can stuff your turtle, the body, the shell of your turtle right now. So I'm going to stuff it using some polyfill. And you can use some scrap yarn. You can see I'm pushing in some scrap yarn here too. So you stuff it as much as possible so it's nice and plumped. So when you stick your needles, or you could even stick crochet needles in it, but you gotta be careful, it might pull your stuffing out. Or you can stick knitting needles also, because that won't pull your stuffing out. So you stuff your head sorry guys, stuff your body of your turtle, and that's how it looks. And now what we're going to do, we're going to make the head of the turtle. So you put aside your shell, grab your head color, and you're going to work on your head. So for round 1 of the head, so for the head of the turtle, you're going to follow the shell pattern, and you're going to follow the shell from round 1 to round 6. So you're going to start by putting 6 single crochet into a magic loop, then you're going to increase, and you're going to follow that pattern of the shell until you get to row 6. And I'll meet you back when you finish doing from row 1 to 6, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 6. So at the end of round 6, you should have 36 single crochet. So from round 7 to 11, you're going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch for a total of 5 more rows. So in all together you will have 11 rows. So continue putting 1 single crochet into each stitch, so at every round you will have 36 single crochet for 5 rows, and I'll meet you back at the end of the 11th row. So we are at the end of round 11 for the head, and your piece will look like this, like a little bowl. So what we're going to do, we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to decrease over the next 16 stitches. So you're going to do a total of 8 decrease, and you want to go into the front loop to do an invisible decrease. So I'll show you that. So you insert into the front loop of 2 of your single crochet like that, then yarn over and single crochet, and we're going to do this 8 times. So that's 2, increase into the front loop, yarn over and single crochet. So you're going to do that, so that's 2 times. So far we did that 3 times. So and at the end of the round you will have a total of 28 single crochet. So go ahead and single crochet into the next 20 stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end of the round. So at the end of round 12 you should have 28 single crochet. So for round 13 we're going to decrease again. So we're going to decrease 4 times. So let me show you that again. You go into, we're doing invisible decrease, so you're going to go into the front loop of the stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 'So we did our 4 invisible decrease, and you're going to continue single crochet into the next 20 stitches, and you're going to have 24 stitches. So finish up round 13 and I'll reach you back at the end. So we're at the end of round 13, and you should have 24 single crochet. So for round 14 to 15 you're going to put 1 single crochet into each round for a total of 2 rounds, and on each round you're gonna have 24 single crochet. So do that and I'll reach you back at the end of round 15. So for round 16 we're going to do 4 decreases. So decrease 4 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. So we did our 4 decreases. You're going to single crochet in the next 16 stitches. So go ahead and single crochet in your next 16 stitches, and I'll meet you back at the end of round 16. So at the end of round 16 you're going to have 20 single crochet. So we're going to go ahead and insert our eyes. So get your eyes and your lighter. We're going to count from the top of the head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Between the 7th and 8th row you're going to insert your eyes. just look at it, put your head, you can fold it, and you can see where you want to. I missed my place, sorry guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Between the 7th and the 8th, I'm going to insert my eyes right here. And what I do, I normally fold my piece evenly in half, and then I poke the first eye through and see where it's coming out. So I'm going to count it and make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's between the 7th and 8th of the eyes. So I'm going to insert my next eyes right there. Okay, so let's check and make sure, see if it's even. Look even enough, I think. So we're going to place our back on, and let me zoom in a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. So this is where I am. I'm going to put my back on, and what I do, I take a lighter and I light it and make sure it's soft, and then it creates like a little washer. You can see, sorry, a little washer, see? So that will keep it also secure. Then I do the same thing to the other side. I'm gonna put on me. Okay, I'm gonna put on the back. Put the lighter down. And I'm going to take my lighter again. Oh boy. And I'm going to burn that. I hope you can see. Make sure it's, and then take the back of the lighter and press it down. So you see it creates like a little washer, and this gets hard. So you see, let me zoom in so you can see what it's like. So you see, okay, and then you just, so we're going to start stuffing. You can just go ahead and start stuffing. So let's stuff our head together. So just put it in there. 16 stitches, and on the last 4 you're going to do 2 decrease, and I'll reach you back at the end, and you're going to have 18 single crochet at the end of row 17. So on row 17 we did our 16 single crochet, so I am at the last 4 single crochet, so I'm going to decrease 2 times. So that's 16, 17, 18. So we have 18 single crochet. So we are at the end of round 17 and we have 18 single crochet. So what we're going to do, we're going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch for the next 3 rounds. So from round 18 to 20, 1 single crochet, and then I'll meet you back at the end of round 20. So after you finish round 20, you're going to slip stitch to join and fasten off, leaving a long, about 6-inch tail. So you fasten off, and then you're going to take your yarn needle, making sure that your head is stuffed properly. So take your yarn needle and we're going to close off the head. So I'm going to put a little more stuffing in there. Do not stuff the head, the bottom. Leave the bottom. Don't stuff right to the tip with the stuffing. Just leave it without the stuffing. And then you're going to just close up the bottom of the head. Like this. You don't have to cut it, you just leave it until you finish sewing the head onto the body, just in case you need to use this yarn. Okay. Secure, take out your yarn needle, put it aside. So now we're going to make the feet. So this is the feet. And we're going to make 4 of these. Okay, so get your yarn that you're making your feet out of. So for the feet we're going to make a magic loop. Chain 1 to secure your loop. Into the magic loop you're going to put 6 single crochet. So put 6 single crochet into the magic loop and I'll meet you back at the end. Get our 6 single crochet into our magic loop. You're going to place your marker into the last stitch. And this is round 1, and then you're going to put for round 2 you're going to put 2 single crochet into each stitch for a total of 12 single crochet. And I'll meet you back at the end of round 2 when you have your 12 single crochet. So at the end of round 2 you should have 12 single crochet. So for round 3 we're going to increase. We're going to put 1 single crochet into the first stitch and then 2 single crochet into the next. 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet. You're going to repeat that pattern all the way to the end and you're going to have 18 single crochet. So go ahead and do your 18 single crochet, increasing in 1 stitch, 1 single crochet, increase into the next, and I'll reach you back at the end of round 3. So at the end of round 3 you should have 18 single crochet. So we're going to stop the increase here and we're going to put 1 single crochet into each of the 18 single crochet. So go ahead and put 1 single crochet into the 18 stitches. So when you finish your 18 single crochet, we're going to start making the toes of your turtle. And that will be on round 5. So on round 5, so we are on round 5 right now. We're going to start making our toes for our turtle. So we're going to single crochet in the first 6. So place your marker, don't forget your markers. So place your marker. Put 1 single crochet into 5 stitches, 2, 3, sorry guys, 1 single crochet into 6 stitches. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6. Into the 7th stitch we're going to put a popcorn, and I make my popcorn by putting 3 double crochet into 1 stitch, then you take out your needle and insert it into the first, let me zoom in so you can see, take out your needle from your loop and insert it into the first double crochet, and you grab that loop and you pull it through like that. You chain 1, then you single crochet into the next stitch right here. Then we're going to make another popcorn stitch into the next single crochet. So put 3 double crochet into 1 stitch. Take out your loop, insert it into the first double crochet, grab the loop and pull it through, chain 1, single crochet into the next stitch. You're going to put 3 double crochet for a popcorn stitch. Remove your hook and place it into the first double crochet, grab the loop and pull it through, chain 1, single crochet into the next, put 1 single crochet into the remaining stitch. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. So 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches. Okay. Remove your marker and place it into the last stitch, sorry. For round 6, you're going to put 1 single crochet into each stitch for a total of 18 single crochet. So go ahead and make round 16, 1 single crochet into each stitch, and there is a chain right by this popcorn stitch here. Just make sure you go into it. And then you go into the next one right here, single crochet. Sometimes it could be a bit difficult, just make sure you grab 2 loops. Single crochet, 1 single crochet in each of those 14 stitches, and when you get to the end of round 8, you're going to fasten off and repeat this pattern for the feet and make 3 more feet for your turtle, and I'll meet you back at the end. So I'm at the end of row 8. I forgot to tell you, when you get to round 8, just fasten off but leave a long enough tail to sew on your feet. Okay guys, you should finish making your 4 legs. When you finish making your 4 legs, you're going to stuff it with some fiber fill. So you stuff your legs, and after this we have 1 small part to finish, and then we're going to put our piece together. So stuff your legs and put it aside. So we're going to make a tail. So So we're going to get our yarn. We're going to make a magic loop, and into the magic loop you're going to put 6 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to pull the beginning tail to close the loop. And you're going to put 1 single crochet into each of those 6 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. So we're going to do one more row of 1 single crochet into the next 6. So go ahead and repeat by putting 1 single crochet into the next stitch, and I'll meet you after round 3. So for round 4 we're going to put 1 single crochet, 1, and then 2 single crochet into the next, 2, 3, then 1 single crochet, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 1 single crochet, 8, 9. So every other one you increase. And then we're going to, for row 5, we're just going to single crochet into each stitch, and I'll meet you back at the end of your round, and you should have 9 single crochet. You finish your tail. You're going to slip stitch into the next stitch and fasten off, and leave a reasonable size yarn just to sew your tail onto the body of your turtle. So you're going to put that aside. So what we're going to do now, we're going to assemble our turtle. So get your yarn needle, thread your yarn needle. Sometimes you might want to use some pins here now. So I have my pins here on my turtle. So I'm going to take the pins. So I'm going to take the head of the turtle and put it into the space that I left when I was. So I'm going to put it in there. Make sure it's in properly. If you think you got too much, I think I got too much yarn stuffing, so my head is not going in. So I'm going to put my head in there, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to pin it. Okay, so I'm going to pin my head to the body, so to make sure that it stay and it don't come out. Okay, it stay in place wherever you put it. If you pin it, it's going to stay in place. Okay, all right, so we're going to sew the head on now, but you're going to go through both the bottom shell and the top shell. So sometimes you mightn't get to both pieces at the same time, so just sew one at a time and go through. You go through the bottom first, and then when you get to the top, you can just find the place, the stitch that corresponds to that, and just go through it, just to make sure it stays in there. Okay, I'm going to go back through, making sure that I grab the needle go through the head too, the neck, sorry, and just sewing it. Let me move this out of the way so you can see. Too much stuff distract you. So just sewing back through both the neck and the two shells. Sewing. You could remove your stitch, your pins now, because you're almost at the end. So I'm going to just keep sewing. So when I want to tie off my yarn, I'll show you what I'll do. So I'll go through the stitch. Let me make sure it don't come off the needle. I'll go through the stitch and then I'll leave a loop. Oh, come on. Trying to show you this and the thing is just keep messing up. I'm gonna go through the stitch. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm gonna go through the stitch, then I'll leave this loop here. And I'm going to put the needle back through it, and what I'm going to do is put the needle through the loop and pull it. So that's where I tie off the yarn so it don't unravel. And then you're just going to weave the ends into the body. Okay, weaving your ends in. Then if you need to cut it, you cut it. You keep all these ends so when you want to stuff anything. But what I want, you see how my turtle is, his head is down on the ground. I want to make his head go up like that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this yarn, thread on my needle, and I'm going to go through his head. Instead of going through the entire body, just gonna go through here, and I'm going to do a couple of stitches. I'm gonna do a couple of stitches just to keep his head up. Okay. So here we go, and then I'm going to just tie it off. So his head is up. So I'm going to go back through the front. And I'm going to tie off. You could just go through one of the stitches because you want. So, and then just leave it in like that. So what I did, I tie it off at the front, and then so you tie off, and this is how it looks. Okay, so we're going to attach the feet. So take your feet. What you can do is take your pins and you pin your feet to wherever you want it. So I'm going to pin my feet, but I'm going to do one at a time because I pinned the first one where I want it. So go ahead, I'm going to show you how to do how to sew it, and then you can go ahead and position your feet and where you want it. So you see, I want my feet that way. Here, that's the front. And I'm going to take my yarn needle and I'm going to thread it. And I'm going to sew my feet onto my body. What I do, I go through the stitch like this. Let me zoom in so you can see. So you see I'm going through the stitch. And then I come back up through the leg itself. Then I'm going to go through the next stitch and come through. So I'm now whip stitching it. I like making amigurumi, but I prefer not to sew. But if you like making something, you gotta do what is required. So if you're making an amigurumi, you gotta stitch, you gotta stitch. So just make sure, and you could remove the markers you could remove your pins as you go along to give you more room to work. So just continue. Hope you can see. A bit too close. So I'm gonna go through there, one stitch, and go through the body. Go through the bottom and stitch. Okay. And you go through the feet, go through the just continue stitching. Some people are intimidated because some amigurumi they don't like to sew stuff, so they prefer not to make amigurumi because of all the stitching. I make amigurumi with, you have to attach on so many parts, but you know, when you finish, you're so yes, you're done and you like what you make. And sometimes they don't even sew on straight. Sometimes they're all wonky, and but you know what I said, that gives it character. So don't mind once it's not, you know. So the more you practice, the more you will get better at sewing on. Because I remember my first amigurumi I made, it was so twisted and wonky, but my daughter loved it. So, and then as I keep making it, I get better. So practice make perfect. So then you fasten off. And that's it. So you see we have one leg attached. So go ahead and finish up attaching your other 3 legs and I'll be right back. So I finished attaching all 4 of my legs and this is how it looks. So I'm just have one part more, and that's the little tail that I'm going to attach. And then we are going to add, I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of embroidery. If you don't want to do the embroidery, you can skip this part or you can crochet some flowers, however you want to decorate your turtle is okay. So I'm going to, right between the back feet, you're just going to stitch that. See, like you don't want to put on this little tail here. You know, you can also sew it closed before you stitch it on, but I'm not going to do that. Just going to sew it on, make one thing and sew it on. Sometimes your needle don't want to go through the stitches. They give you such a hard time. So just go ahead and put that little tail right there at the middle between the two legs. Sometimes your yarn will wrap around the legs, so just be mindful. So go ahead and put on your tail. So this is my last stitch. I'm not going to pull it right through. I'm just going to put my needle through the loop and fasten off. And then I'm going to weave the rest of it into the turtle's body. And then I'm just going to cut it off. So far this is what it looks like. Our little turtle. And this is how the one look with the embroidery, if you want to do the embroidery. So you can grab your color of embroidery floss that you want. I have a green for the leaf, I have the purple for the flower, and a little white for the little spots that I have. I think you could see the spots a little better here. So let me show you that. So grab your needle, thread up. You're going to put on your color that you're going to use for your flower, and I'll reach you back when you finish. When I finish threading my needle. So I thread my embroidery floss onto my needle. I did not separate it, so I just cut a long piece that I wanted and I just thread it, so you don't have to separate. You know, they have different strands. You can use 2 strands by separating it, but I use the entire. I think it's about 6 strands it has. So okay, let's get this flower going. So I'm gonna try and put a flower between this section here, and I'm going to go through one of my stitch, and I'm going to take it wherever I want the needle to go, and that's it. So you tie a knot at the end of your yarn, at the end of your embroidery floss. So you're going to make like a web. So I go there, then I'm going to go on this side, then I'm going to come across. That's a bit too short, so just make sure the lengths are what you want. So that looks fine, and you need 5 of these legs to do your flower. So I think that's a bit too short right here. You gotta make sure you don't go into the hole, because I did go into the hole and it messed my entire pattern up, so I have to lose that out. Okay, so I'm going to go into this stitch right here, and I'm going to come out on the place where I want to put the other stitch. So I turn it around, and I want a stitch right here, so I'm going to put my needle into the where I want it. Come on, and then come out where I want the other stitch. So I want the other stitch right here, so I'm going to come out there. I don't like when my thread or my yarn knot up. So that's and then I'm just going to go through and make one more, so like that. Okay, so what we're going to do now, we're going to go under one leg and over the other. So under, I went under this one. Let me zoom in so you can see. So you see, let me find my needle. I went under this leg. I'm going to go over, then under. Then under. If you go under one, you know you gotta go over the next one. Then under, over. So I went over that one. I need to go. I use the back of your needle so the tip of the needle don't pierce the. It's better to do it with the back of the needle. So I go over, then I go under that one. This is a bit, you know, it takes time, but you get the gist. Under, over, until your entire piece is folded up, and then I'll reach you back so we can do the leaf together. So this is what it looks like when you do the flower. So right now I'm under, I'm going to go over. And then I'm going to go over this one, under this one. Sorry. So I'm under this, I'm going to go over this, and then under this one. So I went under, I'm going to go over, and there is one right there, and I'm going to go under it. Oh boy, I can't under it. So I'm going to show you that again because I was out of frame. So I went under this one, I'm going to go over this and under this one, over this one, under this one, and I'm using the back of my needle, and you see how I fill it up. So I went under, I'm going to go over this one right there, and then go under that one, then skip this one, so go over it and go under this one. Okay, all right, so you can make as much as these flowers. I'm going to finish off making the rest off camera, but for now I'm going to leave it this and show you how to do the leaf. So we're going to thread my needle with the green, tie a knot at the end of your thread. And what you're going to do, you're going to do this one. You're going to go into one stitch and take it right as close as possible to the flower. Take it back up. And so what we're going to do, we're going to keep going into that top stitch, but you can take it every time you go down to the bottom, just take it a little bit away from the next stitch. Create like a leaf. So you go right, not too far, because you don't want it to be too far away. You just keep them in. Alright. I do it a couple of times and that's it. I do different stitches. If you know another way of doing embroidery stitches, you can do that way too. So then I'm going to go over to the next side, and so that's my first leaf. Then I'm going to do another leaf here. I put about 4 or about 3 to 4 leaves, depends on the flower. And you just keep going back and forth into the same stitch at the top, making your leaf. So continue making your leaf and when you want to fasten off, okay, I'll show you how to fasten off. It's just basically, I would take my yarn right there, like that, and then just go through the loop. Fasten off, pull it, and then go back down into and then just cut off your yarn. But I'm not going to cut off my yarn because I'm going to finish up doing the leaf. So I'm going to take this off, and I'm going to thread my white thread onto my needle, where I can show you to do some little French knots onto the back of the turtle. So same thing again, you thread your needle, and then you tie a knot, and you could put your French knot wherever you want it. So you go into, make sure you pull the tail so it could hide into your piece. If it don't hide, I'll show you what to do if you can't get it in. So just make sure you cut off that tip. Okay, so it went in. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a French knot. So you wrap 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4, and you don't go into the same hole that you came out from. Just go a little bit over, and you make your French knot. And you put the needle wherever you want to make the next French knot. Sometimes these needles, okay, so you see I got a little French knot there. So I'm going to show you that again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't make it too tight. Then you go a little way from the bowl. I need a sharper needle for this. This needle is a bit blunt. And I'm going to go over where I want the next one. So, and you just keep making all these little French knots all over the body. So, I hope you like this and share it. And you can make so many of these little guys. And I use mine, as I said, for pincushion. So I have this one, and this is my first one that I made. So I'm going to finish up this and take some pictures. So thank you for spending some time with me. I hope you like, share, and join my channel for more of these tutorials, and thank you. Until next time, bye.